Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. This is your host Ram welcoming you to your regular edition of this cricket happening show. As you would know, yesterday I left you with England really eyeing a total of 400. Well, they definitely did that, and that's what precisely happened as England for the first time in their entire one-day international history went on to great proportions as they put up the first 400 for themselves on the board when they put up 408 for 9 of their 50 overs, and then finally it was a crushing victory for them over New Zealand by 210 runs. So one was probably surprised by the way New Zealand played. Yes, the pressure definitely started building, the pressure started definitely telling on them, and the New Zealand Brendan McCullum would have been definitely surprised, because one thought that probably the finalists of the World Cup, New Zealand, would put up a much braver show than what they put. But let me tell you, they meekly surrendered as England had a crushing victory by 210 runs, and they took the lead in the one-day match series, 1-0 in the 5-match one-day international series, which I'll be talking about. Well, for England it was two people who got centuries. One was Joe Root, and then Josh Butler was the one who went to take off the Man of the Match award for his brilliant innings, as Josh Butler really had a spring in his step as he thrashed 129 of just 77 deliveries with 13 fours and 5 beautiful sixes being hit by him. Adil Rashid complimented him admirably by contributing 69 of 50 balls, 7 fours and 2 sixes, and the 7th wicket partnership went on to a record, not only a record partnership for England, it was a world record partnership of 177 runs being added in no time, because when Adil Rashid was there at the crease, if you look at it, he came at the 30th over, and when Butler departed, it was in the 48th over. So it means it was really a blitzkrieg batting from both Josh Butler in particular and Adil Rashid, as they put on a world record 177 run 7th wicket partnership for England, as they took the score on to 379 in the 48th over when Butler departed. So this was some tremendous batting from the Englishmen, and after the new coach has already taken over, I think it has really started rubbing on them. He definitely made a statement that he will see to it that England adopt an aggressive approach, and it was not surprising at all to see that England adopted the aggressive approach, and that really did come off. And for New Zealand, it was a tame surrender. Well, I'm going to definitely talk about that. This was a brief touch upon where I left off yesterday. And as I said, definitely England were vying the 400 mark, and that's what precisely happened. When there was also, as I said, today was the first day of the first test match between India and Bangladesh, which is called the Zan Ice Cream Test Match, because it's only a solitary test match, known as Zan Ice Cream Test Match. And well, it was played yesterday, and it was played in conditions were absolutely ideal for batting. Even though there was rain kept on interrupting, and the Indian openers really, I would say, really tormented the Bangladeshi bowling, as Bangladesh got no reward for their efforts. Also, one thought I've been generally dwelling on the team selection of the Bangladeshis. India definitely stocked itself with pace bowlers, and especially seeing the grass on the pitch. But a lot of things were said, but finally it proved to be a very good batting pitch. And look at the Indian score, not allowing Bangladesh to get a single reward for the whole day, keeping them on the field. And when stumps were drawn on day one at the Khan Sahib Osman Ali Stadium here in Fatullah, Murli Vijay was batting on 89 with 8 fours and 1 6. Shikhar Dhawan had gone to his 3rd test century. He was undefeated on 150 with 21 well-hit fours, and India were looking, India were supremely placed at 239 for no loss at close of play. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to start with the England, the ODI match between England and New Zealand. I'm going to start off from where I left off. Well, just starting off here, as I said, the record, world record 177 run partnership was, as I said, was a world record partnership with Josh Butler contributing 129 in a very hitting style of just 77 deliveries, 13 fours and 5 sixes being pinged down the ground. And then Adil Rashid, what a comeback for Adil Rashid. He has really worked on his batting, and not only that, Adil Rashid put up an all-round performance, as I would talk to you about the New Zealand innings. And Adil Rashid with the bat first performed by contributing 69 of 50 deliveries, 7 fours and 2 sixes. Jordan made 2. Plunkett was not out on 13, spanking 2 sixes of the 3 balls he faced. Finn was not out on not. 408 for 9. This is the first time that England have breached the 400 mark in one-day international history, and they truly deserve to win. Their previous highest being 391 that they actually mustered against Bangladesh way back. And then, as far as the bowling was concerned, the bowling, well, Trent Boult was the only one who really stood the test. 10 overs, no maiden, 55 runs and 4 wickets. Other than that, each and every bowler went for got some spanking, some real spanking at that. Matt Henry, 10 overs, cost him 73 runs without a wicket to show to his name. Nathan McCullum, 7 overs, were carted for 66 runs. Mitchell McGann, the left-arm seamer, disappeared for 93 runs with 10 overs with 2 wickets to show. Grant Elliott, 5 overs, were carved for 57 runs with 2 wickets. And Michael Santner, the left-arm spinner, would be a bit happy about it, even though he contributed. He gave away 64 runs on his test debut, but he got the maiden wicket of the test debutant Sam Billings. 1 for 64 was his bowling figures. As far as New Zealand were concerned, the start was not good at all. They needed an electric start, but that was not coming today, as Brendan McCullum and Geptil were sent packing pretty early. First it was Brendan McCullum, who was clean bowled by Stephen Finn in the first over itself, with the final ball of the first over of the New Zealand innings. Brendan McCullum's stumps were disturbed by Stephen Finn for 10 of 4 balls with 2 fours. Guptill was held by Butler of the bowling of Finn for 22 of 18 balls with 4 fours. After that, Williamson contributed 45 of 43 deliveries with 8 fours. Taylor made useful 57 of 54 balls, 5 fours and 1 six. He was the highest scorer, in fact, in the New Zealand camp. Elliott made run out for 24 of 27 balls with 2 fours. Santner on his test debut making 15 of 23 balls with 2 fours. Luke Ronchi was consumed for a duck. Now the problem for New Zealand was that the spinners, Rashid was really doing what Trent Boult was doing to England with wickets, and that's what precisely Adil Rashid did. He had a wonderful comeback to the England side, not only with the bat, also with the ball, as wickets were really falling. People were trying to, under the pressure, New Zealand were thinking that the man to target was Adil Rashid. He was the only spinner, but Adil Rashid was the one who picked up the wickets and brought about this New Zealand batting doom here, because Adil Rashid kept on picking up wickets by giving a chance for the batsman to go for the bowling, but he kept on picking up wickets. Ronchi was clean bowled for naught by Rashid. Nathan McCullum was out for 5 to Finn. Matt Henry was LBW bowled. Rashid for non. McLennan too. There was absolutely no resistance at all, and the New Zealand innings folded for 198, and they were all out in the 32nd over. Bowling, Adil Rashid was really stood out on his comeback. 10 overs, no maiden, 4 for 55 would have given him a big boost of confidence now for the forthcoming one-day international matches. Finn, 7 overs. Finn was pretty impressive. 7 overs, 1 maiden, 35 runs and 4 wickets. Jordan bowled 5.1 overs, no maiden, 1 for 33, also bowled well. Plunkett 5 overs, 1 for 37, and Ben Stokes bowled 4 overs for 28. Josh Butler was named man of the match. What a superlative batting display from the Englishman. Now the focus will shift on to the second one-day international, where it would be the New Zealanders who would be under immense pressure. But what a match! I mean, they made a statement saying that England are going to be aggressive under the new coach, and well, they were aggressive too. They have been extremely aggressive, and well, it has all come off. That is the bottom line. England starting off with a bang here in the one-day international series against New Zealand. Now, the next match that I'm going to talk about is the start of the solitary test match. We are talking about it, and well, Bangladesh were totally, I would say, they were kept on the field, tormented for the whole day. Rain was something which was playing a spoiled sport, in the sense rain was kept on interrupting. And for Bangladesh, Liton Das, as expected, as Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain, wouldn't be able to keep wickets. Liton Das had to make his debut, and I thought Liton Das behind the wickets was pretty impressive. So I'm just going to do a sort of an analysis here. Now, looking at the team, as far as this particular match was concerned, one was thinking with the grass on the pitch, yeah, I mean, spinners will definitely come into the equation. There's no doubt about it. But the toss was won by India, and well, India under overcast conditions, even Virat Kohli, even though it was a bit overcast, he decided that he would like to bat first. And well, they started off with. Now look at this Bangladeshi selection. Now Bangladeshi selection, I think it's one, I would say. First, let me talk about the Indian score. India, as I said, were 239 for no loss. Not a single reward for any of the bowlers. Just one chance being dropped of Shikhar Dhawan. Other than that, Murli Vijay was a more sedate partner. He made 89 with 8 fours and 1 6. But Shikhar Dhawan was stroking the ball sweetly and fluently. And the pitch was slow. The batsman had all the time in the world to go and play the strokes, and that's what Shikhar Dhawan precisely did. Shikhar Dhawan was finished on an unbeaten 150 of 158 balls with 21 fours, and Shikhar Dhawan had absolutely no problem. Murli Vijay also played well. He was leaving the balls well outside the off stump, and Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan ground out this Bangladeshi bowling to nothing, as with all the rain interruptions and all. India finished the opening day on a real high there. 239 for no loss was the score for India on the first day. And looking at this particular pitch, well, definitely it has looked easy for batting. A lot of things have been said. When the first day, Chandika Singh, the coach, was saying there was a lot of grass on the pitch. So when there's a lot of greenery, one thought probably it will help the pacers. But it has been the other way around. It has basically helped the batsmen to really play their strokes and get value for money. And well, just talking about this game, let's have a look at this Bangladeshi team. Now, if you look at the bowling, let's have a look at the bowling from the Bangladeshis. They went with, I mean, this is something which is really a bit surprising for me, because in a test match, and that too, you're playing against a world-class team like India. You're not having any. You have a pace bowler, Mohammad Shahid, who has just played. He just made his debut against Pakistan and probably played 2 test matches. And he is the one who has been pitchforked into it. Yes, he definitely had an opportunity, no doubt about it, and he definitely had to play, as he did well against Pakistan. But you can't go into a team, world-class team like India. And that too, you're playing a solitary test. There's no time to recover, and there is no experienced bowlers for Bangladesh who should have the new cherry. Now this is I think it's over dependence on the spinners. Now if you look at the spinners, they have Shakib Hassan, the left arm spinner. Tajul Islam bowled 12 overs for 55 runs. Jubair Hassan, right arm leg spinner, 7 overs, no maiden, none for 41. We saw some lot of wrong ones coming from him. Imrul Case 1 over, none for 3. Shogat Ahom 13 overs, no maiden, none for 47. And looking at the Bangladeshi bowling, one was wondering why did Bangladesh adopt this particular approach? Because there is no genuine pace bowler, even though Mohammad Shahid is quick, but there is no experienced bowler. There was no Rubel Hussain, there was no Taskin Ahmed, who did very well. I thought he's a very promising bowler who did well in the World Cup. He was not to be seen. There's no Shahadat because of the injury. And Mohammad Shahid was the one who was actually bearing the brunt of the pace attack. And for me, that really confounded me. And then Soumya Sarkar, the military medium pacer, was given the new cherry just to take the shine of the ball. He had one LBW shout against Vijay turned down, and Shogat Ahom bowling 13 overs for 47, and then it was all about spin. In fact, I mean, you're going into a team, a world-class team like India, where they are very, very good players of spin. And I mean, I know for a fact that it is going to come in handy when the pitch actually starts crumbling, probably on the third or fourth day, because already we have started seeing signs of some turn on the pitch on the first day itself when the spinners were bowling, which I'm sure Ravichandran Ashwin and Harbhajan Singh has been taken into the team. So both would be really chuckling as to get the hand at the ball and try to turn the ball square and really confound the Bangladeshi batsman. Now, Shakib Al Hasan bowled 9 overs, 1 for 3. He was the only very impressive spinner. Tajul Islam bowled 12 overs for 55. And I can only say that I'm a bit surprised that Bangladesh have gone into this particular match without a genuine pace bowler, genuinely experienced pace bowler like Rubel Hussain or Taskin Ahmed. And then the spinners, they are expecting the spinners to do the trick. Probably the spinners will definitely come into the equation probably when India bats second time. But you remember, this pitch is already, I mean, we have seen some signs of tear and the pitch is going to crumble. It's going to be the Bangladeshis who are going to be bat last on this pitch. And one could imagine what Ravichandran Ashwin and Harbhajan Singh could do with the ball. So I'm not so, I mean, I'm not a critic, I'm not a person or a cricketing critic or something, but this is my pure opinion. I really felt sorry for Bangladesh that they didn't have a genuinely experienced bowler in the ranks, and to go into a test match without a genuinely experienced pace bowler, and that too against India, I think it's a big blunder. Unless and until injury has been something which has kept out both Rubel Hussain and Taskin Ahmed, one could understand it. Otherwise, I think it's a big blunder, and I'm sure Bangladesh are going to pay for it if that's the case. Well, India is already 239, and Virat Kohli has already said that he has already said that this pitch looks good for 500, and well, India are definitely towards the target here. And as I said, the bowling was very tough for the Bangladeshi bowlers to deal with, as the openers really chiseled the partnership, and they had absolutely no qualms, no alarms at all, barring Murli Vijay, one of the LBW appeal being turned down of Soumya Sarkar, and Shikhar Dhawan given a life, and Shogat Hum dropped them, which just proved already very costly. Other than that, there was nothing in for the Bangladeshi bowlers, and it will be interesting to see how the pitch behaves on the second day and how the Indian batting copes with it. So as far as India were concerned, well, India decided to drop Cheteshwar Pujara, the batsman, and they decided to go for a three-pronged pace attack in form of Ishan Sharma, Umesh Yadav, and Varun Arun. And not only that, Virat Kohli also said in his pre-interview before the test match started that the reason they dropped Cheteshwar Pujara and they included Harbhajan Singh is because they know that Ravichandran and Ashwin can be classified as all-rounders. They can also bat. So that's the precise reason, and I think that was the way to go. One felt sorry for Cheteshwar Pujara that he was not being selected, but well, I think whatever the demands of the game were, I thought Virat Kohli has stuck to that, and that's what. And one will know how things really go on for India here. And I can say India are sitting on the driver's seat at 239 for no loss, nothing to worry about. Other than that, dear fans and subscribers, just wanting to give some cricket news. I am told, as you know, the other day, the Sri Lankan Jonty Rhodes has been hired as the fielding coach for the New Zealanders, mentioned that Jahan Mubarak is someone who should be a certainty for test matches because of his very good fielding exploits, and in fact Jonty Rhodes thinks very highly of Jahan Mubarak as a very good fielder, and he also feels he's a good batsman. He's tall, so Jahan Mubarak has made his way back into the Sri Lankan mix of things against Pakistan. So that's the news coming in. Tarindu, I think it's Chamira has come back, and Kushal Pereira has also been included. Well, I don't have time to dwell on that. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think that really is going to end this Cricket Happening show for today. Hope you all enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you all and talking to you all in my next cricket show. That will be tomorrow. which will be looking at the second day's play in the first test match between Bangladesh and India at Fatullah in the ice cream test match. Unless and until I come back to you and start dwelling on what happened on the second day, it's goodbye from me, your host Ram. Thank you.